You know, I've never felt lower than the day that the church quietly delivered groceries to our front door. I can remember coming out the door and seeing the 2 bags of groceries, and I picked them up, and I came in, I saw my wife Amanda's face, and she was steady and supportive, a little surprised, but I know she didn't want to make me feel any worse than I already did. But I was educated. I was capable. So why couldn't I support my family? Well, as you may know, sometimes things in life don't quite turn out the way you planned. Sometimes those choices that you make don't quite go exactly the way that you wanted at all. So I was working multiple jobs, but my wife had always dreamed of being a mom. So even before she got pregnant, we decided that she would stay home to raise our children. We knew that that was going to put a lot of pressure on me to be able to make enough money to support our family, but those were sacrifices that we were willing to make. However, this anonymous groceries at the front door, this was not working. So it was the fall of 1998, and I was in the midst of pursuing a master's degree in exercise science, and part of that included a graduate assistantship. And that is when I discovered my true passion, which is teaching. It was amazing that this graduate assistantship helped me to discover that that's what I really wanted to do. I wanted to teach at the collegiate level. I had loved every single minute of my opportunity to teach during my graduate assistantship, and the opportunity to inspire the students while I was teaching was incredible. Every term, I would emulate my high school geometry teacher, Mr. Demotica. You can imagine Mr. Demotica. He was great. And we would get all the tables and chairs into a circle in the room, and we would discuss some intense topic like abortion rights or the Bill of Rights or foreign policy. Now, this was a 3-credit general wellness course, not political science. But these students would intensely discuss these topics. Intensely, but respectfully. Can you imagine that? Respectfully? Amazing. But what was so amazing is I would leave the classroom inspired, exhausted, but inspired. And it was those times, those connections with the students and the connections with the staff at the school as well that were like rocket fuel for me. That was my passion. Unfortunately, my children and my wife could not eat my passion for dinner. So something had to change. And luckily, God was about to change some things. It was on a Sunday in December of that fall when Amanda and I decided to attend church. And we hadn't been going very often since we had 2 kids under the age of 3. After the service, we were invited to attend a Bible study where we would be paired up with another parishioner, and we would share what we were praying for with them. Well, I shared that we had been struggling financially and were praying for a solution. Well, at the end of the session, we all came together and we held hands and we bowed our heads, and each person shared the prayers of their partners in the group. Well, just 3 days later, that prayer must have been heard, because just 3 days later, my office phone rang at the school, and it was the general manager of the Indianapolis Athletic Club asking if I wanted to apply for the athletic director position. The compensation package would triple my income, triple my current income. So the answer had to be yes. It was yes. It was an amazing solution to our financial difficulty. However, and there's always a but, I would have to give up pursuing my master's degree, and I would also have to put my passion for teaching on hold. Well, however, I still had a fantastic new job as the athletic director. And 2 weeks later, I was running the athletic department at the club. And just 9 months later, I was the general manager of the Indianapolis Athletic Club. An amazing blessing from God, no doubt. An absolute amazing blessing. However, It was a challenge, an intense challenge. And I guess sometimes we do need to be careful what we pray for. Anyway, so as soon as I had gotten promoted from the athletic director position to the general manager role, I enthusiastically rolled out a whole new vision for where we would take the club. And I was thinking proactive, let's win-win, let's think total positive, new levels of accountability. I mean, I was excited about all these new items I was going to roll out as a new leader, now leading 125 people. Now, time out for just a second. Enthusiastically may not be strong enough of a word. Think just worked out, triple latte from Starbucks, Van Halen enthusiastic. Yes, I went into that meeting a little too fired up for the first time you're going to roll out a vision to your new department heads. Well, the result, the executive assistant, the executive chef, and the clubhouse manager quit with no notice. It was a little bit challenging, to say the least. So what went wrong? Yes, while I was enthusiastic, I just didn't have the tools or the experience to lead a team. I certainly didn't know how to roll out a new vision and have team members think of it in a positive fashion. It wasn't that the vision was wrong, it's just that I hadn't respected them or their expertise or their passion as we started to craft a new vision for where the organization was going to go. Now, this club was in dire straits. The organization had been faltering for years, and millions of dollars in deferred maintenance were catching up with us, or even had gone beyond us. So it was a very challenging time for the club. Yes, I could support my family, but what I really needed was a way to be an effective leader. And maybe more importantly, I needed a way to bring my passion for teaching to leadership. So, for 5 long years as the general manager, I would learn new things and bring it back to the club, and I would make mistakes. And I'd go to conferences, and I'd learn these great new strategies and bring them back to the team and make a lot of mistakes. And in meetings, I talked way too much, and I listened way too little. And you can ask my wife, at the end of each day, I would go home and complain way too much. However, my time at the athletic club turned out to be an amazing education. I learned a ton, and I'm very thankful for those opportunities. And the more I learned, the better I got at my job. I was finally able to start bringing people together to work on a vision and also work on the tools that we would need in order to bring that vision to life. And I was able to bring people together and inspire them to come onto the team and create something incredible, something remarkable. And it was at that time that something really amazing happened. I learned that being a leader naturally allowed me to teach. And my passion and my career kind of came into alignment. It was a very exciting time for me. Now, God's career path for me was certainly challenging and very unexpected, but it did help me to bring my passion for teaching to leadership. And it allowed me to learn how to bring people in to systems and vision and passion. I had found my way, which was different from other leaders, but it was incredibly effective for me because it was my passion. So it was through leading, not very well at first, that I learned to lead successfully. I guess for me, I had to go through a little chaos before I could find clarity.